That's the great thing about dirt biking. A beautiful day and you're cruising along. Suddenly you're barely hanging on. And next minute, you're on the ground thinking you've broken your shoulder. The prep for a ride normally starts a few weeks prior. Yeah. Oh, we've got to have the talent, yeah.
Not much.
Depending on the location, the route will be mapped out. On this occasion, it was, with Big River in the Victorian High Country as our destination. Yeah. Oh, I'm guessing, yeah, it should be about 10.
Might.
The mapping duties normally fall to Wooly, who will send us the GPX file once it's done. From there, we'll upload it to our Garmin watch. When it's the three of us, Wooly will pick up the bikes the day prior, and once home, load his own bike, ready to pick us up in the morning.
Really? So I'm going to say.
Big River sees us heading out through Marysville and past the Lake Mountain turnoff. As we passed through Marysville, and after a quick coffee stop, I saw the sign for Lake Mountain indicating it was -1 degrees. This was going to be a cold one. Once at Big River, at the unloading point, it was time to get the bikes off and gear up. Ready for the cold, or so we thought, we wore multiple layers including thermals. At this point we still felt fairly warm, and after some sustained idling, so did the bikes. Finally, it was time to go. The terrain and the tracks were a real mix of textures, from hard dirt to reddish clay, and large humps with puddles on the way down. With recent rains, one thing you could be sure of was constant loss of rear wheel traction. 5 to 10 minutes in, I'd lost all feeling in my fingers on both hands. You can see Wooly shaking his to try and warm them up, and Hunter, if you listen carefully, telling himself how cold it is. It was time to stop and use the hot exhaust to try and get some feeling back. But the track waits for no man, and time is short. We just needed to get going and suck it up. With no way to tell just how deep some of these puddles were, most of the time it was safer to just navigate around. This This hill was so much steeper than it looked. In fact, it was so steep, it was too steep to ride it. So you basically had to walk your bike down and use the brakes hard to make sure you didn't build up any momentum. The views, if you had time to look, were spectacular. The Victoria High Country is a bucket list ride for a reason. The tracks wound through deep forest with steep climbs and descents, and alongside massive drops off the side of the mountains. At least with the weather conditions, dust wasn't an issue. After nearly 80 kilometres and 4 hours on the trails, it was time to head back. My crash happened approximately 1 to 2 kilometres from the loading area. One of the logs that featured twice in the video took me out. With a bent clutch and a twisted bark buster, I was able to nurse the bike home. As for my shoulder, well, I certainly wasn't much help with the loading or unloading of the bikes for the journey home. Luckily, I didn't break anything, but the last 6 days it's been as sore as hell. You have to find the bright side. It happened at the end of the ride, and I got to ride. Time to head home and start planning that next ride.